almost felt like they had 2 turns there. It's kind of weird. Okay, let's just survive. Let's just get out of here. So we gotta take you out, like, now. Can't do much damage here, though. There's 3 damage. Get 4 out of this, but I need 6. Increase soul heat by 2, increase soul heat by 2. Oh, apply 2 relief. Oh, we need soul heat. Take you out. Okay, I forgot about the death bomb, but we had a shield. Okay. Doesn't seem like we're gonna make it out of this, huh? Okay, this is not good. Not good, not good. Apply 2 relief on a target, so we can do that on myself. And we can Hourglass Mastery, so that's not much. I mean, I think we're still going to die from the Affliction, but whatever. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Oh, it's only minus 10 points for each heart lost. Okay, that's not bad at all, actually. I was expecting a lot more of a dock from losing hearts, but I guess not. Okay. Cool, cool. Good to know. It looks like the star shards are actually 1-to-1, so it's a bit of a good benchmark to use. We could say 1,200 plus however many star shards we have. And, you know, of course, we're going to assume that we're going to win the game, so we're going to go through a certain amount of normal and hard battles along the way. So that's almost like a fixed amount that we can kind of tack on to the end again. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Redemption Flail. I don't think I've ever seen this one. Whenever an enemy gets over-corrupted, if that enemy has relief, trigger it, then decrease relief on that enemy by 1. That sounds really good, actually. Yeah, that actually doesn't seem that bad at all. That's another thing that we can combine with Affliction, actually. We can spam Affliction, then that kind of weirdly doubles the effect of the relief. So we can do that. I almost never take this one. If you have 25 dice in your pool, increases purification received by enemies. Because we never really receive purification from enemies. We never really have convert dice or anything like that. So that's a bit useless. At the end of your turn, all enemies receive 2 purification for each die in hand. Yeah, I'm taking the flail. So that's an easy affliction relief setup there. It's a bit different from last time too, so I don't mind doing that again. At the start of your turn, increase soul heat by X. That would have fit in last time, but not going to fit in too well here, I don't think. Gain 2 sands of time for each soul heat. I think we can use that this time. We can make do with some replays and rerolls and all of that. Soul heat 0, apply 4 affliction to a target. Minimum soul heat 6, apply 5 relief to a target. Or 12 relief. Yeah, I'll take that. So now I suppose we want to send most corrupt actions towards the enemies this time. As long as we have some relief on them, that is. Each time they get overcorrupted, they're going to be taking damage, is the idea. Otherwise, we could do something like this and just stack a bunch of relief on them, which also works. That's a life loss, huh? I think that would be a life loss. Except you're not going to die from being overcorrupted. Or you don't have enough health to be killed from the relief after being overcorrupted. Weird way to word that, but yeah, see. So how would this work? Now you have 4 affliction, so you would be overcorrupted every turn, essentially. So every time you get overcorrupted, you would get triggered, and then you would get triggered again at the end of your turn. So I guess it's not really... It's not doing extra damage, it's just kind of speeding up the rate at which the relief does damage. Because the relief would do that much damage anyways, right? But we're just speeding up that process, is what it seems like we're doing. Very interesting. It's going to be interesting to consider the health bars while we do this, because, you know, Affliction is going to heal the enemy too. It's going to overcorrupt them and heal them. So we can say maybe the first instance of Affliction... It's only going to go off once, really. I should say the first instance of relief is going to cancel out the healing from the Affliction, because relief is going to be, you know, dealing damage. And then once you get overcorrupted, you're going to be taking extra damage from the relief. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of throwing a wrench into things. Oh, but the overcorruption doesn't go off. Oh, okay, I see. That actually kind of works out then. So then maybe we want to do something with Soul Stigma this time, because that'll be extra damage just all over the place, really. I think I saw that right, though, right? When the Affliction went off, I think the extra damage from the relief going off due to the overcorruption happened. I think all of that happened before the overcorruption even went off in the first place. So that's a good thing to consider. If we're at the end of a fight and we have an overcorruption coming, we can actually force the battle to end that way. So that actually works. We can definitely work with that. Gain 2 Soul Stigma, but not necessarily corruption or affliction. Okay. Cool. Surprisingly confusing build here, but I think we got it under control. Mostly. Okay, we got another chance to see how this works. So Ghastly Fire is going to cause you to be overcorrupted every turn. Yeah, that's not going to go away. So every time you get overcorrupted, you should trigger your relief instantly, basically. So this will go off twice, essentially, which does require some math to calculate. So it would be 3 damage and then 2 damage, I believe, all at once. So really 5. So I should expect you to be healed by 3 and to be overcorrupted. So you should be at 29 health and you should be overcorrupted by the end of your turn. Is what I'm expecting. 30 health now. Actually, no, because you just took damage. Kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't. But let's see if we're right. Am I gonna live if I play this on myself? Yeah, I should. Okay. So you should be at 29 health and you should be overcorrupted. That's what we're expecting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it worked out. Okay, cool. Okay, so we just gotta do some math here, but as long as we just keep the relief numbers up, then that's what we want. Deal 3 corruption to a target and increase soul heat by 1. It's kind of tricky because we don't want direct corruption damage, we just want affliction damage. Because, yeah, corruption will, like, do what we need it to do. It'd be much easier if we just relegate that to affliction. So we might be tempted to throw stuff at the enemy willy-nilly, but I don't think that's necessarily what we want to do. Okay, alrighty. Purification, we do need to heal. If you're going to be overcorrupted every turn, that's just going to be 3 extra damage for us. And of course, we do need to get that relief number up. So I'm expecting 4 damage here, so I just gotta get up to full health. That should do it. Of course, we are still waiting on Outbreak, but as long as we don't have relief, you're going to be healing, so that's not a big deal for now. I'm thinking, do we want to heal or do we just want to hit the guy? I think we have to heal, right? We have to get up to full because that's 6 damage right there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I just realized, actually, this would be a perfect way to get 15 affliction on 4 different enemies. Because if we balance it out with the relief, if we're able to somehow trigger it enough to keep the health bar at bay so we can like control the fight, that'd be cool. Or if we can, I don't know, it's kind of weird. If we can somehow manage the affliction and the relief at the same time, I mean, it's kind of the same thing I just said, but you can get the idea. I think that can somehow work towards that achievement. I just don't really understand it yet. Okay, let's try to get some relief on you, because this affliction is starting to be a problem. So we gotta get you up to 6 soul heat somehow. It's probably gonna be glass daggers. There's 4. It's 5. That should be 6 right there, but I do need to heal. I think it doesn't really matter, though, where I put you, right? Yeah, okay, great. So that should be damage coming out now. And this just helps with Soul Stigma, so that's not bad. I could heal with this. This actually would help me right now. Oh, it only hits the enemies. Never mind. Never mind. I'm stupid. This should be damage now, though. That should be 9 plus 8. So 17 damage. 17, or 23 minus 17 should be like 6. So you should be taking... let's see. 17 damage will bring you down to 6 health. But you're going to heal 10 from the affliction in the first place, so you should be down to 16, I believe. $15, yeah. Close. Okay, so as long as we get that total above 10, we're good. Well, that should still be fine. 7 plus 6 is 13. We're still good for a few more turns, actually. Weird build. Weird build. So then we can kind of say we can burn these on the enemy. It's not going to help us. Well, it kind of can, depending on how we time it with the overcorruption. It can help us, but for the most part, I think this is going to be... This is going to be like a... kind of like trimming off the effects of relief, essentially, for the sake of getting them out of our inventory. Because, again, if you think about it, we're going to be dealing, what, 8 plus 7 is going to be 15 damage? So if we take 15 damage, minus the 10 from Affliction, so 5, we can call this that difference. So if we throw these on the enemy, that's... Now you're going to take 1 damage after everything's been done. So we see a net gain of 1 purification on the enemy, essentially. At least in the case that we don't die, you know? So this should be enough to just end the fight now. We just have to get out of here alive. Might be actually kind of tricky. Oh, never mind. We can just end you now. I do want to do the math, though. I do want to find out how this would go. So, if I were to end my turn now, looks like I could get out of this damage here with the shield. I could heal myself up to full and then shield myself. I'd be down to 2 health. And then all of this would go off. I'm not entirely sure if they would die immediately or if the overcorruption would go off first, but I think you would just die immediately. But if not, the overcorruption would go off. That would actually kill me. And then in the event that I survive that, then the relief would finish you off. But that's just too many things that I don't know to be confident in continuing the turn. So I'm just going to do that, get it over with, until we get a bit more knowledge about, you know, how all the turn orders and actions work in order. Kind of a new form of risk, in a way. Gain 1 affliction, deal X purification to an enemy, where X is my soul heat, multiplied by half of the amount of affliction that I have. I don't think we quite have enough soul heat to justify that now. We barely have enough soul heat to justify using Ghastly Fire, to be honest. So I think we're going to skip that for now, and we'll grab Scorching Sands. Spend 100 shards, get a 10% chance of getting a Star Blessing. No, I do want to keep my Star Shards, unfortunately. But yeah, this is kind of a new form of risk, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, we were kind of worried about like all the orders of everything beforehand, but not to this extent. So I think it kind of introduces some new timing that we have to worry about, which kind of permeates the rest of, you know, the turns and dice order and all of that. So yeah, I would call that a new form of risk that we weren't really worried about before. Okay, so the relief does go off immediately. That was a good example of that. It was a little hard to tell before with the affliction and everything, but we saw it there. So now we can assume if the fight were to end from an overcorruption, that we would be safe from that. Good to know. Deal 1 purification, that's not going to do anything for us. I can overcorrupt you again, don't mind if I do. And we're just going to want some shielding. That's healing. Are we going to survive if we don't do that? I think we will, because we're going to hit you for 2 more, but then we're going to have a shield. I think that's fine. This is a great way to get around this enemy, actually. I feel like usually we're pretty careful not to rush into this enemy, but I think we can afford to a little bit more now that we have, you know, a little bit more damage coming from relief. Okay, we do need a heal. We do definitely need a heal. There's some damage there with Affliction. It's going to trigger that Overcorruption a lot. Only problem is we need more relief. I don't see a way we can get more right now unless we can get up to 6 Soul Heat, which we might be able to do. Let's see, we can get 1 from you. We can get probably 2 with the Hourglass Mastery. We can get 3, 4. Yeah, that's kind of about it looks like. If we get really lucky, we can do something like this. Okay, I didn't think so. I was gonna say if we get a replay on that die, then maybe we can get up to 6. But yeah, that was a bit of a long shot. Okay, so let's see. If I apply Affliction on myself, that's just gonna force me to heal a lot. Honestly, though, that might be what we want to do, because otherwise you're just gonna be overcorrupted every other turn, and you're gonna get stronger and stronger and healing. So I definitely don't want that. Apparently we did get lucky there, so kind of worked out, but still gotta worry about that Affliction later. Oh, never mind, I guess we're just dead. Never mind. Unlucky. Unlucky and kind of dumb. Alright. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. That run kind of broke my brain. I'm kind of worried about the possibilities of other dice combinations. So I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm going to get another cup of coffee and use the bathroom, so I will be back.